from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Scholars of Wrestling Show, episode 203, I believe.
It is.
It is. And I am your man behind the microphone and your current reigning Scholars of Wrestling champion, Scholar Jeff. To my right is the former champion, Scholar Tarek. How's it going this evening, sir?
We're not afraid of dreaming big. We're not afraid to bring the fight. Wanted the best of both worlds, and it starts here tonight.
This musical interlude brought to you by the former champion, Scholar Tarek.
Hey, that song is actually kind of catchy. The song that they used to promote the Backlash.
Oh, is that? You know, I don't know why, but for some reason that didn't register for once. It was like, okay, I don't think I ever heard that song.
Really?
Yeah, I've just been paying attention. Okay, all the build, and then we're just coming off the heels of the Greatest Royal Rumble. So, and then all of a sudden we're here at Backlash.
Hell, they even had it at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and it got some controversy because it had Carmella in it.
That's it. Okay, now I follow. All I heard was, okay, controversy. They're like, oh no, women. And then all of a sudden, okay, out of everything happening there, the last thing I was paying attention to was the song.
It was a very catchy song.
I'm going to have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might as well.
Absolutely.
Well, anyway,
I'll even take a minute or so out of this show to just play it because it's, like I said, it's a catchy song. I actually have fun listening to it.
Hey.
Just of all the superstars mouthing it, it's just so much fun.
Hey, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of time for that after this. But first, we have some very important news to get to.
He didn't want to listen to it now.
Well, yeah, because I'm surprised that you don't want to get to this.
We paused one episode so many years ago just to show Bryan how to play Raw Deal when we did the Raw Deal episode.
Oh, yeah, we did do that. Wow. What episode was that?
I don't remember.
There's your homework assignment, Scholars of Wrestling Universe.
I think that was pre-YouTube. Probably when we were doing what was the name of that website we did it?
Not Podcast One. It was Podbean.
Podbean, that's right.
Wow. There's a blast from the past for you.
That's a little bit of nostalgia for all you new Scholars of Wrestling listeners.
Yes. But that was then. This is now, and there's lots of things to talk about. But first, we need to kick things off with a little bit of a segment we like to call Backstage News.
Indeed. We go ahead and just go and peek behind that curtain. Peek a little bit, just a bit, so no one can see you. So Andre the Giant doesn't turn around and say, "Get out!" and check in on a little
Backstage News. I watched that documentary too, man.
It was such a good documentary.
It actually was. If you haven't seen the Andre the Giant documentary, go see it. It's bound to be somewhere.
I find it hilarious that they took a good couple minutes out of their time to just talk about his farting.
Yeah,
I'm like, what, did Nickelodeon help promote this too with nothing but fart jokes?
And yet, for some reason, like the weeks of after that, I would just get a mental image of Andre the Giant farting. This is what goes through my mind, folks.
No. Here's another one that goes through your mind. Just watching the scene in The Princess Bride when it's Wesley versus Fezzik, and when he first charges and trying to lift him up, just when he's grabbing Andre all around, you just...
Oh, boy.
I just think you're doing well.
Oh, boy. You're going to ruin that movie for me.
Nothing can ruin that movie.
Yeah, you're right. Why am I kidding? Because you know what? We're in such a good mood after the bit of good news we got this week. Ladies and gentlemen, Politics Kane has not only just returned, but he's on the way to winning. That's right. In case you haven't heard, Kane is campaigning for mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. He has officially won the Republican nomination, and considering it's a very heavily red state, it's looking very likely that Kane is going to be the next mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
Kane!
Your reactions, number one Canaanite that I have known for so many years. What's your reaction to this good news?
I actually wasn't surprised because I knew he was going to win. Just knowing his history and just how he is with politics and just how incredibly smart he is. So when I heard he was running, I'm like, yeah, I know he's going to win. He's going to go all the way, and he's going to burn that stake to the ground.
Metaphorically.
Sure,
let's go with that.
Let's go with that. Hellfire and brimstone, yeah.
Well, I'm sure that depends entirely on how you view libertarian politics. But again, this is scholars of wrestling, not scholars of politics. These are all of our opinions are strictly our own. But all we know for certain is this is really cool. Kane's going to be a legit politician now.
I'm looking forward to see like good time jump down in the future and just see how he does, like how the people are accepting of him. I mean, look what Jesse Ventura did. I think he's going to blow Jesse Ventura out of the water when it comes to, politics. Politics Kane.
Politics Kane. That meme will never die, at least as far as the scholars of wrestling are concerned. But yeah, overall, I think this is super cool. And just seeing his insignia on all his campaign materials, it's like the little flame, the little stylized flame.
It's just so perfect for him.
He knows. He knows.
He's not going to escape, and he's not even trying.
Hey, just if you've got something that works and is marketable, why not?
Exactly.
Still, it's super cool. Congratulations, Mr. Glenn Jacobs Kane, Mayor Kane, Politics Kane, Mayor Jacobs, whatever you want to call him. Congratulations to you. We wish you nothing but the best there in Knox County.
Absolutely.
But anyway, now that we've got the celebrations out of the way, let's talk about the next pay-per-view that's up to the task. Again, I honestly forgot that this was coming up so soon after the Greatest Royal Rumble, but yet here we are, and it's looking like a pretty interesting card. I am, of course, talking about WWE Backlash 2018.
What I like about this is that minus one match, it's all singles matches. There's only one tag match in this whole card.
Yeah, and honestly, it's for such an unexpected sort of B pay-per-view, this is a pretty interesting card. And that's another thing. It's actually in our backyard.
Oh, I knew.
Which I totally forgot about.
They promoted it when I went to SmackDown way back when. At least it feels way back when. But yeah, they did promote Backlash. I was debating on whether or not to go, but I want to save up for WrestleMania this year, so I don't mind skipping Backlash.
Yeah, true. We got a whole bunch of really great shows happening this year over in the East Coast, but again, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But for right now, let's get into Backlash 2018, starting with the recently announced pre-show match of Bayley versus Ruby Riott. Fool, who do you got?
Oh, I'm going first on this? Okay. Well, I just... Literally, but I found out about this match right before we started recording, so I didn't have time to really click on... I didn't really have time to click on this one and to really think it down. But given the couple minutes I have, and just thinking, since it's now the Riott Squad in, I guess, a feud with, or getting themselves involved with the never-ending piece of shit feud that is Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
Your words, not mine.
You're actually enjoying this?
I'm not saying I was enjoying it. I'm just saying it's...
I'm sorry. The Sasha Bayley stuff is just garbage. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Sasha Banks. I actually gave the feud a chance because I know of their history when they fought in NXT, the Iron Woman match, and what was before the Iron Woman match? Wasn't it just a straight-on one-on-one?
I believe it was.
But these two I know can put on great matches together. But this feud, it's just... It seems to have a problem starting before it really gets going. I mean, other than fighting in what looks like a locker room...
There is an odd pacing problem with this whole thing. That I will acquiesce.
I think this is a feud that was started pre-Royal Rumble.
Yeah, the setup did seem to be long, and I feel like this is just definitely one of the B feuds that they're working with right now.
Are they working?
Barely.
It's I would say working at a turtle pace, but I think that's moving too fast for this feud. But
so how does this one go? Bayley versus Ruby Riott on the pre-show.
Sasha's not going to get involved. It's going to basically be what they did on Raw. It's like, oh, Sasha's not going to be in my corner, and it's going to be Riott Squad overpowering Bayley, and I'm gonna go with Ruby Riott.
Yeah, I'm actually going with Ruby Riott too. Just having, whether it's the Riott Squad overpowering Bayley or Sasha coming out and interfering somehow, it just seems like there's way too much stacked against Bayley in this match. Plus, I like Ruby Riott and I kind of want to see her excel. So maybe this will be her time to get a win.
I actually, well, we can officially say the Riott Squad is 10 times better than Absolution, since Absolution is now officially dead, confirmed by Paige. With the Riott Squad, there was definitely momentum being built when they were still on SmackDown. I mean, they were pretty much feuding with Charlotte, and once they got switched to Raw with the Superstar Shakeup, they seem to have kind of a good momentum in their favor, and I like the Riott Squad. I can actually say that now. Like, they're a good heel faction, and we need something that's something other than Alexa Bliss as a top female heel.
Yes, we definitely need more of those, and I'm a big fan of Ruby Riott. I think she can do it.
And I'm actually going to say this right now. I think Ruby Riott's going to win this coming Miss Money in the Bank.
You know what? I can see that. Depending on what they do with Sanity, and even if they do bring in Nikki Cross as a part of Sanity later on in the year, given Ruby Riott's relative seniority on the main roster, I can see her being a strong contender for it.
Well, yeah, Money in the Bank's next week's. Oh, not next week.
I was going to say,
not
don't
next
tell
week.
me there's another
next
one.
month. Next month. That's what I meant to say. I'm putting my money on Ruby Riott right now.
All right. Next match on the card, the one and only tag match on the card. We've got the team of Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. For this one, I guess I'm going first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to say it's Strowman and Lashley. Lashley is just returned just recently. Braun Strowman is Braun Strowman. He's white freaking hot. I just don't see any way that these guys don't win this. Especially coming off of a presumably heel winning the pre-show match. You got to balance it off somewhere early on in the card. And you know what? I'm convinced it's going to be Strowman and Lashley.
I'm going to go with Strowman and Lashley too, just for this pretty much the exact same reason you said, that Braun Strowman, he's the guy. As much as they want to try and push Roman Reigns, it's Braun Strowman who is the guy.
He really is.
For all the the newer audience who don't know who Bobby Lashley is and know that he had a history in WWE in the past, this could be a good rub from Strowman to Lashley. As much as I want Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to win, because to be fair, they need the win.
They need something.
They need the win, especially coming off from SmackDown to Raw and just getting completely demolished this on the Go Home show and on the show on the week beforehand by Braun. I really want Owens and Zayn to win, but it's Braun Strowman. It's not just like Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. It's Braun Strowman.
Get something, get these hands.
Something, get these hands. Speaking of which, did you see the drive along with Alexa Bliss?
I have not yet. I really want to see that.
Oh my God! There's the one part where he explained the origin of Get These Hands.
That part I did see because it was actually in a preview on the .com.
Oh my God! I couldn't stop.
That was great.
I want them to be an on-screen couple because I love Alexa Bliss and Braun. They have such great chemistry together.
They really do.
But with this, back to the match. I hope this will eventually lead to a Bobby Lashley heel turn, just so we can get a Bobby Lashley Braun Strowman feud. Because when you have Braun Strowman on such a hot streak as he is, why are you keeping him away from the title? At least when you have Bobby Lashley, you can actually give him something to fight against, someone to fight against who actually looks like a legit threat. Because when you look at the Universal Championship roster as a whole, there's only 4 people that can actually fit in that category. Brock Lesnar, who was the champion, Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Lashley. And when you have 3 of those 4 guys as a face and Brock as the heel, I think they need to kind of even that out a bit. And with Bobby Lashley coming back, and he's basically the exact same character as he was back in the late 2000s, not a character at all. He's just Bobby Lashley. I think a good heel turn could do wonders for him, especially since he had a pretty good character when he was still in TNA Impact Wrestling. Apparently, that was one of the big commodities, him as a heel. So we know he can do good heel work.
Yeah, hopefully that's something we can do. They can actually, you know what? Now that you mention that, I really didn't see too much of Bobby Lashley's run in TNA. But if he's been known for being a good heel there, maybe that could be the reason why they're bringing him back now. Because they need a good heel.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might be on something.
Especially for Raw, since Raw, when you look at the heels on Raw, it's a very shallow heel roster. Kevin Owens and Zayn, but you see how they're being booked. And then you have Jinder Mahal. You see how he's being booked. And then the next one in line is Baron Corbin. And he's feuding with No Way Jose. You see how he's being booked. You don't have really strong heels on Raw.
You know what? I think you're right. I think that's what may have been why they originally brought him in, because they need a good, strong heel.
And they're not as much as we want it. Even though I think I said this last week with you or with Bryan on the WrestleMania review show. I think it's I think like Roman Reigns is like beyond saving, even with a heel turn.
Oh, I'll get to that later.
But yeah, we need a good strong heel to be representing Raw, and with Brock Lesnar appearing whenever the hell he wants to appear, we need someone. We need someone to come in full time, and hopefully, maybe after this match, after they destroy Owens and Zayn, or the next night on Raw, we just have Bobby Lashley completely take out Strowman. What better heel turn than take down the number 1 face on Raw?
There you go.
Because it's kind of hard to say in all WWE, because since you have like AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan.
You need more.
Yeah.
Speaking of, next match in the card, we've got Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Fool, who do you got?
This is a fun little feud. When Big Cass came back, I was just like, okay, Big Cass came in. He's emphasizing he's a tall guy. You can't teach that. I liked his promo when he was on Miz TV.
I thought it was pretty good. I feel like
it was his best promo, but granted, he hasn't had a lot to work with, considering when he was last on Raw, he was in a never-ending feud with Enzo and Big Show. So this is his time to flourish, and I thought he actually did really well on SmackDown, and I got kind of an Attitude Era vibe from him bringing on a Daniel Bryan midget on the Go Home show for SmackDown. First, man, that midget could not follow orders. He's telling him to go this way, the midget's going the other direction, bowing. So I was on the side of Big Cass. I'm like, this guy's not listening to you. Just kick him already. Which he did, and he beat up a little man. Thank you. You really are a casshole.
Is that an actual thing?
That's what people have been chanting when it's since Enzo. They're just going casshole, casshole, casshole.
Oh, I can see this getting over so hard.
It works with his heel character, because really
it does.
He really is an asshole.
Oh man!
When you really look at what he said on Miz TV and just him beating up a small person, he's an asshole. So just put the C in just because his name is Cass and it rhymes with ass. For all the people who don't know that.
I thought you were gonna go somewhere. I was like, his name is Cass. It rhymes with ass. ...
Something mass. I'm hungry for Big Mouth Billy Bass. What am I talking about?
I'm gonna break you like broken glass.
But when it comes to the match,
if you keep talking, don't give me no sass.
All right, no more. Shush, champ.
My favorite character from the trilogy is Boss Nass.
Happy Star Wars Day.
This is being recorded on May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Indeed. May the Force help you live long and prosper.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not. Star Trek doesn't have their own day. We got to give them some kind of love. But yeah, I feel like this is gonna be a feud that keeps Daniel Bryan away from the main event picture, or at least with the WWE title picture, and it keeps him away from the Miz right now. I think they're saving Daniel Bryan versus the Miz for SummerSlam.
I can see that,
and this is gonna be their feud for the next couple months, and the only way for that to really keep going is if Big Cass wins at Backlash. So I'm gonna put Big Cass, but he's gonna cheat. This is not gonna be a clean victory. I could see him fighting Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's basically pushing him to a corner, and it eventually led to a point where he rolls him up with the tights or something. It's definitely going to be a dirty victory. Just for them to, it won't hurt Daniel Bryan. Nothing can hurt Daniel Bryan at this point.
Yeah, I'm going with Big Cass too, just because, because of the unique position that both Daniel Bryan and Big Cass are in right now. Big Cass is returning. He needs a big win to look impressive. Daniel Bryan is still going to be Daniel Bryan no matter what. And really, yeah, I can see this being a Big Cass bullying Daniel Bryan kind of match.
And this could be a feud that can help push Big Cass to a higher position. This is like nothing that him feuding with never-ending feud with Enzo is going to do. This is actually he's facing a former champion. He's facing a top star of WWE, and Daniel Bryan likes to work with the younger talent to help get them over, to help push them to a new level. And I think he's going to do that with Big Cass.
Agreed. Moving down the card, next match we've got Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. I believe it's my turn now.
It is.
All right.
I honestly still need to think about this one. This is actually the hardest match on the card for me.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going with Samoa Joe. Just because I can see this being the catalyst to do something new and different with Roman Reigns. There's way too many reasons in my mind to have Samoa Joe go over Roman Reigns than the other way around. This, with all the trash talk, Joe really does need another. He's another guy who definitely needs another big win here. And Roman Reigns, he's always going to be a guy in WWE's eyes. And really, after all the hubbub with Brock Lesnar and all that, I don't think WWE has anything for him other than to reinvigorate his character and possibly even turn him heel. Your thoughts?
It's a compelling argument. But the biggest part that's tripping me is no matter who, both guys after this match are going into a world title feud. And with how normal booking goes, when someone's down on their luck, when you look at, I guess you can say that with Roman Reigns, since he's still losing to Brock Lesnar multiple times, and you have Samoa Joe pretty much filling in what Bray Wyatt filled in when Undertaker first lost a streak to Brock Lesnar. Wow, why is it with everyone and Brock Lesnar? But this is a hard one. Seriously, I've been thinking about this for the last 3 days. This is Joe. Oh man, this is hard. I don't want to just keep
I'm going Samoa Joe because I can see this being because Joe has been so good in verbally decimating Roman Reigns. I can see his loss in this match if he's going right into a title feud. I can see this as being a catalyst to really light a fire under his butt and either give him an extra edge to his face character or just flat out make him cheat and turn him heel. That's kind of what I'm alluding to when I say that I can see way more advantage to Joe going over Roman Reigns than Reigns going over Joe. If Reigns goes over Joe, he's just basically squashing a guy who needs to come up and who does not need to be squashed. If Joe wins, then he's just another adversary in a face character's way who will either rise to the occasion and improve himself, or he'll turn heel, give an extra edge to his character, and improve himself that way. Plus, the third reason, I just flat out like Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah.
So all three of those reasons is the reasons why I'm going with Joe.
You have very, very strong arguments. You really do. But then I'm just also looking at like what their long run is for Roman Reigns, and as much as like we said it, I said it earlier, and I'm still saying it's like it's hard. Like reaching the point of Roman Reigns a heel turn is long gone. Like it's that point. What I mean by long gone is it's beyond that point where even a heel turn won't help Roman Reigns. But
I'm not talking about Roman Reigns as a simple heel turn. I'm talking about a complete and total repackaging of Roman Reigns as we know him. Something that will change the perception of who Roman Reigns is as a wrestler, as a character, and as a man. Roman Reigns, as long as he carries around the stink of being Vince McMahon's boy, or the corporate champion, or the corporate choice, he is always going to get the same reaction he has been from the crowd, regardless of how hard he works.
And he's a good wrestler.
And he is. It's how he's being portrayed, and more importantly, the perception in the eyes of the fans. If he's going to get anywhere the reaction that WWE wants him to have, he needs to shake that perception. Even if reality is different, he's still, as long as he carries the perception of being the corporate guy, he's not going to. He wrestles. He needs to do something to shake up how he's portrayed and how he's thought of specifically. And I can see that being done in so many different ways if Samoa Joe winning is used as the catalyst. As much as I do want to see that, and as much as I do want Samoa Joe to win, I'm just going to be thinking with my head on this one. As much I want to think on my heart because I want Joe to win, but you're going Roman?
I'm going to go Roman. It's like impossible now to really defeat Roman. I mean, the guy kicked out of 6 F5s. He's kicked out of 5 attitude adjustments from John Cena. What pay-per-view was that? Survivor Series? But yeah, it's just Roman Reigns wins. LOL. With an infinite star Mario Brothers star.
I will say this though. I think this is going to be a match that, because of its unique circumstances, I think it's going forward.
Honestly, I can even see this as ending as a no contest, like Roman spearing Joe through the wall or something. Like just them ending where both guys aren't hurt by this. Like I don't think it's going to be at all a squash as you're thinking as you said it was going to be.
I didn't mean to say squash. I'm saying just like it looking where someone gets beat and so it looks bad in defeat.
No, I don't think it's going to be that point where he looks bad. Joe looks bad, but yeah, it's Roman is the golden boy. No matter what Vince is, we all are trying to. What we're all saying, we're all basically telling him to. I guess I can drop the one. Be telling him to fuck off. But yeah, Roman Reigns wins. LOL. I guess I got to update the cards now because that was the only prediction card I didn't finish.
Well, now you got the time.
I'm like, God, I can't figure that one out. That and the title match were the hardest matches for me. But we'll get to the title match.
Yes, we'll get to that soon. In the meantime, Next match in the card, we've got Carmella versus Charlotte Flair for a SmackDown Women's title. Fool, who do you got?
I'm going to pick Carmella. She just won the thing, and I definitely see this. I definitely see the double Iconics interfering on this one. Just to push Charlotte away from the SmackDown Women's title. Just so the double Iconics can just take Charlotte away.
Yes, I think this one, conversely, is one of the easier ones to call here. Like you said, Carmella, they obviously see some stock in her, and she just won the belt, so it's way too early. And plus, with a feud with the Iconics on the horizon, I think Charlotte Flair will absolutely have a place to go on the card.
Charlotte doesn't need the title.
She does not at this point, certainly not.
She's now reached that point where she can just drop the belt and just be away from the title picture for a good while.
Mm-hmm.
It really hurts to say this now, but Carmella definitely has gotten better. I now have seen progression. Now the annoyance is just because she's an annoying character, not because she's bad. I'm hating her because I'm supposed to be hating her. And I'm just looking at her, I'm like, shit. Okay.
You got it.
You got me. You got me as a fan, not as just a wrestling critic looking at this person and just think, God, she needs a lot of work. But yeah, she's now reached that point where now I actually do think she does, like, her being a champion, being the SmackDown Women's Champion is actually a good thing for her.
See, sometimes the machine works.
Better late than never.
Mm-hmm. Now going over to the other
Unless you're
side
Nikki
of
Bella, where it's just never.
That's a conversation for another time. In the meantime, we've got, for the Raw Women's title, we've got Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. In a similar vein, I think I'm going to go with Nia Jax on this one because, like we were talking about, she just won the thing not too long ago. I think it's a little too early for her to lose it, at least not to Alexa. I think this feud is basically coming to an end, and this is when it all comes to a head. Nia Jax wins, walks away with her title, ends the feud, wins it, head held high.
Take everything I said about Charlotte and Carmella, copy it, and paste it on this one. Alexa is now at a point where she doesn't need the title. Her last title reign already made her one of the best female wrestlers on the WWE roster. And I just got to say, these Moment of Bliss segments are goddamn the cutest things I have ever listened to. I'm sorry, they're adorable. I'm just listening to it, like, just how she's emoting, and her eyes look like big puppy dog eyes, look like they're on the verge of tears. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute. And just what she's saying about, the last one, I was in tears laughing. How Alexa was explaining that when her and Nia went to Disney World, and Nia was bullying her about her height and saying, you're too short to get on these rides, even the spinning teacups. They're just cups. You sit in them. And then when they go out, and then when they go to one of the restaurants to get something to eat, Nia tells the waiter, give my friend here something from the kids menu, while she's laughing while eating turkey legs in each hand. I am on the ground laughing my ass off. I'm like, this is the funniest, most adorable segment I have ever seen in a long time. This takes the whole segments of This Is Your Life, Bayley, and just completely destroys it. This is Alexa at her golden moments. And like I said, she doesn't need the belt. She can now find whatever storyline she's getting involved. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the final point of the Nia Jax Alexa Bliss feud. And Nia needs the belt a lot more than Alexa does.
You know, first of all, I didn't expect you to have that strong of a reaction to the Moment of Bliss segment.
Oh my God, they're so cute. I was like, oh my, these are adorable.
I just want to pinch your little cheeks.
She's so gorgeous. I'm sorry, she is though.
Okay.
Hello, nurse.
teacups.
You sit in them.
You sit in. Now, after the show's over, now I want to rewatch that segment. But yeah, we're all agreeing Nia Jax.
Nia Jax.
Next match on the card we've got for the U.S. title: Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. I believe it's mine or no?
Yeah. No, it's mine.
Yeah, it's yours. Wow.
Well, SmackDown has done it. SmackDown has made me interested in the United States title. I applaud them. The Go Home show made me so invested in Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton for the United States title. When you look at who you have in the United States title picture, Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, and now you have The Miz and Shelton Benjamin. I'm like, God, this is awesome. I'm loving this little pack of wrestlers that are fighting for the United States title. But when it comes to this match, I'm going to say Jeff Hardy retains. It's kind of the same story. He just won the thing from the Superstar Shakeup, and I can see more possibilities with Jeff Hardy being the United States champion down the road than Randy Orton does.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm picking Jeff Hardy for this one too. Again, he's yet another champion who just got his title. I think it's, even with the way that the U.S. title has been handled lately, I still think it's a little too early for him to lose it. And even though my enthusiasm for the match does not quite match yours, just because I'm sort of bored with Randy Orton in general at this point, this could still deliver. I still have hope, and I still think that Jeff Hardy is going to retain.
What I liked about with Randy Orton, because I do agree, he was at a point where he was just looked like he was going through the motions, so it took any entertainment I had and just kind of chucked it out the window. But that's what happens when you're feuding with Jinder Mahal. And I am so glad Jinder Mahal was traded to Raw just to get... I don't want a Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal for the United States title, which they were going to go for before Jeff Hardy. Mm-hmm. With this one, it looks like Randy Orton is actually invested in what's going on. When you had the Miz TV segment on the Go Home show, one thing I cannot believe they actually brought back that SmackDown. Miz brought up the SmackDown top 10 list, but it took Randy Orton's like, dude, no one cared about that Superstar top 10 list. Why are you bringing that up? He actually looked like he wanted to be there. He wanted to actually work. So it got me. I was like, you know what? Good for you, Randy. I'm actually intrigued on what's going to go on with you. And now you got me intrigued of the United States title. Good for you. Because for the people who listen to the show, my feelings on the United States title, it's a breath of fresh air.
Yet another reaction I did not expect to hear. It's okay. Good on you, WWE. All right, next match on the card, more up your alley. We've got Seth Rollins versus The Miz for the Intercontinental title. Yeah, it's my turn, right? Oh, no, wait. Wow, why do I keep forgetting that?
Whose turn it is?
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
Let's go with me.
Did you put your prediction for Jeff Hardy and Orton?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Jeff Hardy.
Okay, yeah, I'm having a brain fart on this one.
Jeff Hardy.
But yeah, you can go with the Intercontinental.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, I think he's going to hang on to this since it looks like Miz is going to be set up for something new after this, either a feud with Daniel Bryan in the near future, or even a feud for the world title at some point. There's so much more for the Miz to do that, again, not only has Seth Rollins just sort of recently won it, I can see a myriad of other things you can have for the Miz to do.
I'm going to go with Seth Rollins as well, mainly just because I don't see them bringing the Intercontinental Championship to SmackDown. And there's just so many more possibilities. I mean, we could continue on with the Seth Rollins-Finn Balor feud for the Intercontinental title. Hopefully in the near future there will be the Dolph Ziggler / Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title. I would basically be on cloud 9 when it comes to the Intercontinental title if that happens. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins on this one. Successful retain.
Mm-hmm. And now, finally, that brings us to our main event of the evening. For the WWE Championship, we've got yet another match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Fool, who do you got?
I said it earlier with during the Joe Reigns segment. This was another hard one for me. Just because really looking at how this storyline's been going and where it's going to go with Samoa Joe. Go, Joe! And just how the storyline has kind of like progressed and where it ended up on the Go Home show. And it really, really hurts to say it because I love both guys. I want Shinsuke to win, but I don't think he's going to. I'm thinking AJ is going to retain. And the way I see it's happening, especially now that it's a no DQ match, I see Shinsuke trying as a way to not hurt Shinsuke, because Shinsuke is another superstar who is white on fire. Since his heel turn, he's one of the if not the best thing going on SmackDown. So the only way I can really see this ending by not really hurting him is him trying to low blow AJ Styles again, but this time you see the pain in Shinsuke's arm because AJ has a cup protecting his manhoods. He's protecting his family jewels, and to a point where he's wearing it. Nakamura low blows him. What kind of cup do you have? A metal cup. And then he... that was so bad. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that, people. I really am. That was so corny. Even to a point where I thought it was bad. But yeah, he low blows AJ Styles. It doesn't work. And then AJ Styles himself will end it with a low blow himself and then hit a Styles Clash or a Phenomenal Forearm to end the match.
I'm going to go Shinsuke Nakamura because I know speak English.
I can't argue.
Okay, for realsies this time, I'm still going with Nakamura because, I don't know, before I can see why they didn't put the strap on him. Now I feel like he's finally starting to hit his groove. And I admit, out of any pick of the evening, this is more me following my heart. Mm-hmm. Again, if this is a tough one to call, if it gets that tough, I'm gonna have to follow my heart, just to keep things interesting, just to end it with a good, strong ending. And plus, you're also gonna be in New Jersey. You're also gonna be in Smarkville, USA. If you can have Shinsuke win and you can get a huge reaction, if he does. If this was any other town, maybe somewhere in New York, maybe that would click. But considering that you're in New Jersey, I think if you had even a heel Shinsuke win, you would still get a very, very good reaction to close your show, and you would send everyone home happy.
I can't argue that because I want Shinsuke to win. I'm just not thinking with my heart. I'm thinking with my noggin.
Of course you are.
But Cesaro's not on the show, so I don't have to think with my penis on this one. I had to go there.
And that will lead to your victory, I'm sure.
Yeah, that probably will lead to my victory and one step closer to winning back that title.
Oh, please. This title will be... The Scholars of Wrestling Championship will be defended at Money in the Bank.
So of course you're not defending it this time.
You know... Like I said
about... It's like, that's it. As former champion, I'm inducting my rematch clause. No, I'm just kidding. There's no rematch clause.
Like I said about this Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe match, feud, whatever, I can see this show proper as being a good bit of insights as far as what WWE is going to do with a myriad of their talents going forward. especially at a big-time pay-per-view like Money in the Bank. So, me, being the intelligent and decorated champion that I am being smart about this, and I'm going to treat this as a bit of a scouting show. I'm going to use the results of this show to find out what the WWE is going to be planning for its superstars in the near future, so I can accurately predict the results of Money in the Bank, so I can continue being your Scholars of Wrestling champion.
Excuses. Hey, you're just lucky that we are including the Greatest Royal Rumble to our prediction show lineup.
Sir, what kind of champion do you take me for? I was always
a champion.
Trying
his best to avoid a title defense as much as possible.
Sir,
we're now next month. You have to defend that title.
Sir, I was going to defend the title at Money in the Bank regardless. Because you know what? That's what I am to this show. I am money. I am charisma. I am delight through your ear holes. And you all know it. And soon, after this weekend, after Backlash, you will realize that you know what? Scholar Jeff was right. That's why he is our champion. I could not be more proud to watch it and listen to the Scholars of Wrestling show, God Bless America.
What this prediction show is going to prove, once again, that you are just out of your goddamn mind with you being the lowest score.
I love being me.
I must say, whoever holds onto that belt gets corrupted by it. Because this is the first real, darkness I've actually gotten out of you this entire Scholars of Wrestling history.
This belt is mine.
And I kind of like it.
This belt is mine.
And then if you get lowest prediction scores again, oh man, you are lucky to be a champion, man. You are lucky to have that title.
This belt is mine, and you know what? You know what else? These opinions are ours. But now we want to hear from you. The Scholars of Wrestling universe, audience, whatever you want to call yourself. It's your time. We want to hear from you.
I got to applaud that. That was really good.
Oh, I thank you.
That was a good transition.
That's why I'm the champion. Now,
I'm liking this. I'm actually liking.
What came over me?
I'm liking this darkness that's oozing to get out of you because you're the champion.
I'm sorry. I don't know what.
I really wish Bryan was here to see this, because I was telling him, I'm sensing a little. Ever since he won the thing, I'm sensing a little darkness coming out of him. Don't you need to maybe a little dip in the lake of reincarnation, man? Because I think that some kind of form of darkness is just building up inside of you.
You know what?
And now that you have that belt, you have something to feed that darkness, to feed that dark ego inside of you, to explode into something that you yourself don't even know about.
I'm not sure if I think you're right. I think you're onto something. I think I probably should take a dip in the lake of reincarnation when you pry this belt from my cold dead hands. Sorry. A little verbal diarrhea there. But anyway, we want to hear from you. So let us
definitely verbal.
Yes, let us know what you think about our predictions. What do you think of Backlash? Who do you think is going to be the next Scholars of Wrestling champion? We want to hear about it all. So you know what?
Just don't want to defend it now. Especially since Bryan's not here, it could be defending against me, the champions.
So like we were saying, you can drop us a line any number of ways on the internet. If you're joining us on YouTube, check us out. Leave us a comment. Give us a thumbs up. Whatever the kids are calling it these days. Subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're on Facebook, check us out. Just run a search for the Scholars of Wrestling Show. Give our page a like. And of course, if you want to join the conversation yourself, you can check us out on Twitter, starting with our lead account at ScholarsOW for all the latest wrestling uploads and episode uploads and all the fun stuff. And of course, if you want to join the conversation with us directly, you can check us out on our personal Twitter accounts. You can check out Scholar Bryan at Atomic Beanpole. Fool, where can they reach you?
You can reach me at the Avataric.
And you can reach me at I'm Robbie Rage, all one word, because I'm the champ and I'm great.
Speaking of Bryan, for all the people listening through Filling the Void podcast network, if you want to know Scholar Bryan's predictions, go to our YouTube page and watch the video edition of our podcast. just so you can get Brian's predictions. You can write them down. You can add it to our predictions and see how he goes with those predictions.
And even if you're not so curious, join us anyway because we like YouTube and we love the love.
Indeed.
And we love you. Wink. So anyway, that's our predictions for WWE Backlash. You know who we are. We are the Scholars of Wrestling, and you have just been schooled.
You're welcome.
See you all at Backlash, baby. Woo! I'm the champ.
I'm very worried about him. I'm worried about the darkness building inside because he's the champion.
I'm not talking about